Wow, what a great gathering. Thank you all for coming out, for your support. Jeff called me. I really thank Jeff Hunt for helping organize this, and the words of the President and the Chancellor for their ongoing support of Israel. What they speak about on this campus in stark contrast to so many campuses around the country, to educate, to bring clarity to students of the difference between good and evil. I want to thank Rabbi Hilla Goldberg, who just spoke, who recommended United Hatzalah, and to help out our volunteers, those putting their lives on the line, jumping out of bed at any hour, and going under fire to save hundreds of lives and treating thousands more. I also thank Ellie Beer, who you saw on the screens. As a 16-year-old, he started working on an ambulance, and he realized, after going out a call after call after call, that ambulances aren't fast enough to save lives. He realized if there's a baby choking, or someone who has a critical allergic reaction, or someone has a cardiac arrest, by the time the ambulance gets there, it's too late. That there has to be a better way. And through innovation after innovation, chutzpah, pushing, passion, he was able to totally revolutionize medical first response. He created Uber before Uber was in anyone's head. We used GPS before the smartphone came to the market. And we were able to cut a time from 8 to 25 minutes. That's what it takes a typical ambulance. To today, 90 seconds in major cities in Israel. 3 minutes all over the country. How is that possible? Because we have neighbors saving lives, because we're able to communicate to people. If there was a kid in a dorm that started choking, how many people would be willing to go there to save their life? We have a doctor I came with. I'm sure she would jump and go, but what if she didn't know about that event? So we have means of communicating to EMTs all over the country, and joined in this effort, Ellie has inspired 7,000 people, Christians, Jews, Muslims, people from all backgrounds, to be part of this force. So you'll have a neighbor or a person in the office down the block that can come to save your life. So like Uber, but we come to save your life, and we don't charge anyone for our services. On October 7th, because he had this force of 7,000 people, when news came in to dispatch, something's going on, incident, faster, faster, faster. We're probably the first people, amongst the first people in Israel to see what's going on. This is not only an incident or a terrorist attack, this is like a war. And we called people, it was Shabbat. We have religious people on our group as well. They broke Shabbat because they understood the higher value of saving life. And they ran out to the south, 1,500 of the 7,000 people, while everyone was running away from danger. They ran head into danger in order to save lives, to go under fire, to evacuate people onto helicopters, onto ambulances. Serious injury, critical, over and over again. Let me tell you about one of our volunteers, though. His name is Shalom Avitan, a 22-year-old person, grew up in Britain, was living in Israel. He decided 4 years ago he wants to join our force, and he became an EMT. And he went south when he heard the news from Jerusalem, drove in his ambulance with a fellow EMT, and he was in touch with the army. And they said, please come out to where these kibbutzim are, these small settlement, towns all around the Gaza area. Come to Kfar Aza, we need help. We're overwhelmed. There's too much going on. We're just trying to get the military situation under control. And they would bring out body after person, injured, wounds, bullets here and there. All day long, he was working on this. From, when he got there at maybe 9 a.m. till now it was 7 p.m. straight. And then at 7 p.m., there was army people that went into this one person's house in Kfar Aza, and they saw there what happened. There was a beautiful family, a beautiful wife and husband. The wife went out to get milk for her 2 young babies from the protected room. And as she did that, thinking it was a quiet moment, she was attacked, raped. Her husband came out to save her. He was also killed. After they did their whatever they thought that was, they left, and the babies must have been sleeping. They were silent in the room. When the military people came in, after they secured much of the town, they heard crying babies from the private room, from the protected room. And they took these 2 babies, and they handed them off to Shalom. And Shalom evaluated them and saw that they were quite dehydrated, gave them water, and eventually, through follow-up and work, we were able to place their grandparents. Then Shalom continued over the next couple of days, nonstop, 3 hours of sleep, 4 hours of sleep. Finally, after 3 days of constant work, he went back to Jerusalem to take a shower before returning back to the south. Now that's one volunteer. We had 1,500 volunteers volunteering in the south. And today we have still a very large force in the south. We have field hospitals in north and south, and we're very stretched all over the country. As I was watching and hearing and watching the news like all of us here, the one thing that through all the tragedy and difficulty and heavy heart, one thing I was happy to be able to do was to be able to make a practical difference. You watch, it's like, what can I do? You feel helpless. But with United Hatzalah, reaching out to partners to help them save lives, because through all that, we depleted almost all of our supplies, not only giving to our own medics, but to Army medics that were undersupplied. We wiped out our supplies in days. And we went to order more. And because we're spread out, we need more equipment in the hands of more people, like defibrillators. So I want to tell you that right now, we continue to urgently need help. And I'll explain a number of reasons that I hope that people consider helping us, United Hatzalah, to be our partner in saving lives. First of all, it could very well happen we have a multi-front war. And so we have enough to handle the South. Those 1,500, we have 1,500 vests, protective gear. But if it happens in the North too, we have to make sure that our medics are protected so they can work on multiple fronts. There's also, like we just had a terrorist attack in Jerusalem. Terrorism could step up, and we need more help through the interior. And we're very spread thin. Normally we have 7,000 people spread out through the country. Now we have forces in the south and the north. And we have a lot of people that went onto the reserves. So we need to make sure that we have more equipment for each person ready to go. And we have, fortunately tonight, someone was generous enough to give a matching gift for this group, for this campaign, of $500,000, up to $500,000. If we can raise this money, he wants to step up and help towards this cause to help save lives. So please. So on your tables, we have sheets. And I'm going to just take another 30 seconds to talk about 3 items that are urgently needed, but they're all needed. And if we could take a couple minutes, maybe we could have a few people help get this campaign started. You can certainly bring it home and continue after tonight, but let's see if we can make some progress. Number 1 is, as I mentioned, the protective vests. We need to be able to make sure we can deploy as many of our medics as possible in a responsible way. Second, we need medical equipment because it was so depleted. There's medical equipment there, medical bags and defibrillators. And third is we need more vehicles to make sure that we can work in urban areas and whatnot. We have small vehicles. We just got a shipment. That's why it's on the sheet. We just got a shipment of another 50 of these mini Lances that can carry this equipment and that the volunteer has with them at all time, answering some 300, 400, 500 calls every year, but if they have them in their hands, so they are ready to go. So if we can take a moment. Yeah.
Brad, thank you very much. That was wonderful. So this is where we can do something very tangible right now to support our friends in Israel. As Brad mentioned, a donor in this room has said that they will pledge to match up to $500,000 raised in support of United Hatzalah. You can scan right here to donate. Right here online, we now have $3,000. So matched, we've got 6. We can get that to $1 million if we're willing to step up and help United Hatzalah. Now, the person that was instrumental in getting this whole night organized was Harold and Diane Smethels. Let's thank them right here. But Harold you wanted to say something about tonight.
Yes, I'm looking forward to buying a portable ultrasound for $10,000.
Wow, that's wonderful. Thank you very much. Is there anybody else that would be interested in stepping up tonight? Somebody who couldn't attend. Thank you, Joy, very much. Another $1,000 for tonight. Thank you, Joy.
This is from somebody at our table. I have no idea what's on the inside.
Great. Another $100. Thank you so much. Go ahead. Go ahead. A medic bag. Wonderful. Thank you very much. That's another $5,000. Wonderful. Thank you. Okay, go ahead. Wow, another ambulance right here, $55,000. $55,000, that's wonderful. Thank you so very much. That's great. Yes. Portable ultrasound, Will, Christy Armstrong, thank you very much. By the way, Will, Christy, thank you for carrying on the legacy of your father. That's Bill Armstrong's son and daughter-in-law right there. I think your dad would be very proud of what tonight.
Okay, thank you so much. Let's just, the protective vests are $800. Okay, I want to be able to tell our volunteers that we can do protective vests. You can do 1, you can do 10, whatever. But, you know, I want to make sure we have more of our volunteers, they have the protection they need. You know, when I talk to the volunteers, what they always tell me is, be sure to go back to our partners and tell them we couldn't do it without them, that they are equal partners with us. Yes, how many, yeah. A protective vest, thank you so much. And thank you. And also another protective vest. Anyone else can do a protective vest, $800. And then we'll close up. Okay, what's your name? Jay? Thank you so much, Jay. Appreciate it. Thank you so, so much. Really appreciate it. So,
It was Faith Church, right?
Faith
Church.
Church. Faith Church
It's going to do a defibrillator and how many?
and 5 protective vests. Thank you so much. Thank you. I don't want to, they can continue.
Yep. So you can take this home, and if you'd like to consider donating online later, would you consider standing to make that commitment to donate online later and to explore this? President Hogue, thank you very much. Wonderful. So, Brad, you don't know this, but I was talking to my son the other day, and I pay my kids to do things, you know, as you can imagine. You probably do. I said, if you worked really hard and got to play 10 minutes of game time on the court, so his coach saw him in practice, he worked really hard, the coach approved it, said, all right, you get 10 minutes of game time, I'll pay you $50. And he said he would match and give his $50 to you all today. So but thanks, my son Joshua, for being willing to do that. He's a great boy. Joshua's a good name too, right? Well, friends, I want to thank you again for this evening. We're not done yet. Peter Simon is going to lead us out in the playing of the Israeli national anthem. During this time, please consider standing, and then afterwards, we're going to join people out in the quad there for a moment of prayer. Rabbi Hillel Goldberg will be leading us in prayer, and Chancellor Sweeting will be leading us in prayer as well. So please join us for that. I know it's been a late evening, but just a little bit more. Thank you all again for joining us this evening. Peter, take us away. Thank you all again. The prayer vigil will be outside. And thank you, Peter.